It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast with Steve.
I won't say it was bare bones, moderate bones.
It was like if you were born with half the bones you needed.
Like you could probably still function somewhat.
Right, like instead of having, like if you bend your finger. In this case, Steve, your holiday display was just a two-direction finger, right?
Okay,
so
yeah.
like it would just bend like that all the time.
So I was missing a knuckle.
And Kyle.
I know he hasn't been to Boston at the Cheers bar, drinking a beer with us on a Saturday in July at noon.
Yeah.
Do you really care? You care enough to download this stupid thing every week, but not to spend your hard-earned money to fly to Boston with us? Or better yet, fly to the Van Wert Regional Bus Stop?
Now, here they are, two guys who are living in style, Steve and Kyle.
Boy, that intro reminds me, my social media mentions these past 2 to 3 weeks have been filled with two things.
Mm-hmm.
One is the sale, the upcoming sale, which I believe is on June 2nd, of the original Cheers bar.
Is it really?
From the set.
Do you want to...
Starting bid is $100,000.
Okay.
So, trust me, I already had that internal conversation.
Hold on. Let me log into the PayPal as we speak. Maybe we've become flush with cash over the last...
You think we've increased our net worth as a podcast by
5,000 times?
Boy, yeah, that's at a minimum, right? Yeah. You think we've done it?
Let's see. Hold on. I'm just going to log in. As always, if you'd like to make a contribution. Yeah. Oh, it's asking me for a code. No.
If you'd like to make a contribution to the Steve and Kyle buy a original set piece from the TV show Cheers
Fund.
At this point, apparently Steve can't log in. You're going to have to message us. And also, I don't really want to pay the taxes on these donations.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're hitting us up for like tax ID numbers.
Yeah, listen, government, stay out of our losing endeavor.
Yeah, if you could, just send us checks.
That's it.
To our personal attention.
I have already started, and I'm going to try to beat around the bush a tiny bit. I've already started doing that with one of my other side endeavors to avoid the PayPal, Venmo middleman.
Sure. That's
complication.
Well, it's got to be one thing. It's got to be the gambling.
Steve, I will neither confirm nor deny. I have multiple side endeavors that I am taking part in.
Yeah,
I've been monkeying with some Jeeps in my free time.
Have you really?
Yeah, of course.
You going CJ? You going TJ? YJ? XJ?
The other
ZJ?
thing, my social media has
JK,
just been...
JKU? JL? JT? JTU? JLU?
Can you confirm to me, are all those actually legitimate?
They
Because
are.
I thought halfway through you were just putting letters together.
Every single one of them. Every single one of them.
I thought once we got to JJ, I thought no.
No, there's no JJ.
Okay, so I misheard you. I apologize. I'm an idiot. The only JJ that I'm familiar with is JJ from Coco Melon.
Big, dumb idiot. No offense.
Of course, none taken. Mm-hmm. So, I've been hit up a lot about that, and that is a big deal for me. That was on the news as well with a picture of George Wendt and John Ratzenberger, who went and visited the set very, very recently, within the last 90 days or so, and have a picture of that. That made me, I teared up. Mm-hmm. Seeing old Norm and Cliff sit back at their seats at the bar again. But the other thing my social media has been hit up about has been the shark attacks are back. And...
It is the season.
Honest to God, I don't know why we're just ignoring this as some normal part of life now. I feel like I am the one in this case, I feel like it's reversed, Steve, that I am now the one person shouting about COVID. Because if you'll remember, it was 2 years ago, or no, I'm sorry, 3 years ago, it may have been May, that I was on this very podcast doing a Fast Five, and I could not have more loudly dismissed the notion that COVID was a problem.
Yeah,
I believe I said, nah, nothing, burger.
Let's see if I can find that clip.
Yeah, somewhere I have that isolated audio that I had sent to you, and I need to just start saving all that stuff.
I'm sure I have it here.
But
what would
I feel like
you have titled that?
Kyle dismisses COVID, no question. I feel like I'm now the one person on the mountaintop screaming, hey, guys, it's here. Mm-hmm. Why are we ignoring this?
Yeah.
And you and the rest of the world are the people yelling at me, calling me dumb about wearing a mask. Because the shark attacks are out of control.
Yeah.
It's not even Memorial Day.
Mm-hmm.
The mayor of Amity Island from Jaws made it to July 4th. We're not even to Memorial Day, and this is already going sideways.
All right, here was your take from, looks like February 27th, 2020. So this is just before things really hit the fan.
The world shut down, I believe, on the 13th of March.
It was like mid-March. All right, let's hear what.
Oh boy,
let's hear what old Nostradamus had to say.
No, it was Nostradamus, wasn't it? I believe we went back and referred to yes.
Yeah, man, we're funny.
We were funnier then.
Number 2, coronavirus.
Yeah, where are we at with
Are you
that?
scared about it?
Nah.
75,000 reported cases.
Our doctors are smarter.
Smarter, like you're just not concerned at all.
Nah.
Okay.
I mean, mixed in there with, again, what should go down as an all-timer in terms of dismissals. In terms of bad judgment.
Yeah, that was something. And again, 2 weeks later,
yes,
the world shut down.
That is on my Mount Rushmore of bad takes. And I am one that I would not admit my bad takes to you. Okay, because those are the ones you just hope fade into oblivion, and then you really pump up the ones that you're like, see, I told you, like me with the shark attacks right now.
Sure, yeah.
But
I wonder,
oh boy.
What would be our Mount Rushmore of bad takes? I mean, that's obviously one of them.
I mean, my personal number one has to be that.
Yeah.
Because that has been what happened the following, still happening, just out of the public eye, but what happened the next year from that date? Yeah. Where hundreds of thousands of people died.
Millions of people died, right?
Well, in that next year or so. But you're right. I mean, we lost millions of lives throughout this. Mm-hmm. The United States, for the first time in, I forget however many decades or years, the average life expectancy went down in our country due to the loss of life due to COVID-19.
Right, but as we all know, it's no worse than the common cold.
That's right. It was just going to be a fever for a few days, and then you're good. Boy, that's a good question, though. What would be our Mount Rushmore of bad takes?
We should maybe post that on social media and have people chime in.
Because we've done this for 367 previous episodes or so now. Mm-hmm. And I know there has to have been some really, really bad... I know there's been really bad judgment. There has to have been some really, really bad takes over the years that we've done this. And I mean, I'm all aboard Hot Take Summer. I unleashed my first one of the summer.
I saw that
the other night
when you ranked the months of the year.
Oh no, that was a while ago. But that's another good.
Okay,
that was another good. That's right.
It's a good bit of tent right there.
Join me on social media. Get some hot takes and all 12 months ranked in order.
I did enjoy reading through that and then reading the comments and your vehement dismissal of such stupid follow-ups.
That might have been, and I'm willing to say this, for that weekend, the only legitimate conversation about the best months of the year. I didn't have much debate on the best. I only had a lot of issues with people claiming that the bottom of my list. You're gonna have to find the social media for it. Yeah. I'm not gonna spoil the good stuff.
No, maybe we'll retweet it from.
That's right.
Yeah,
but no, I at least one the other night that all Indiana Jones movies suck. All of them. I'm done with them. They weren't good at the start. They're not good now. As these mid-level reviews start pouring in for the 5th and presumably final entry with Harrison Ford, and they're all not good.
Yeah, this may come as a shock to you, but I don't think I've seen more than half of one of those movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Even because that is your era. Because you're in your early 30s.
Sure. 42 next week. Early 30s.
So you were a child when these were uber popular, right?
Yeah. I'm sure.
And they just somehow missed
I've
you?
seen them and just don't remember anything about them.
I mean, snakes. Why is it always got to be snakes? That doesn't ring, like that doesn't seem familiar to you.
It does.
The man digging into the other person's chest and ripping out his beating heart.
Yeah, but I don't know if I remember them because of pop culture or
Okay.
because I actually saw the movie.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, I am just listing like the major moments that have transcended the movie.
He's like
The
running
ball,
with that, the big
the
boulder thing.
short round. Behind Sean Connery as his father in the third entry. None of this.
Sure.
Boy, normally, back in the
what
day,
I
I
should
would
do?
tell you, well, hey, you got to add these to the list
You know
and
what I
watch them
should
all.
do? I should make a list of all of the movies that I need to see. What are you typing?
I'm making a poll.
Okay.
Is Steve a big dumb jerk?
Oh, wow. Seems like that's out of nowhere.
No offense.
Oh. Okay. So,
I listen. I would love to actually do that with you, to where we could go through these iconic pop culture movies, and you get to view them or remember them for either the first time or the second time. But again, if you don't remember them, it's almost like the first time.
All right.
I would include the Indiana Jones movies.
I think if we were to schedule a movie night, I'd be more inclined to.
Oh, I'm not watching them with you.
Make time. Oh, okay.
No. That's too much.
Okay.
I watched those Indiana Jones movies last year because I was in a similar boat to you, where I knew I had seen them in my youth, but
didn't remember.
I did not remember them. I remember him falling into a train car of snakes, and I remember the heart. And I remembered all of those moments. So I knew last year I did not enjoy them. But much like the seasoned hot take artists of our time, you wait for just an ounce of resolution before you come out affirmatively. So me, when these reviews from whatever film festival started rolling in about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which is, again, the newest entry, and they were not very good, I knew I was in a safe place after the fourth entry in 2008.
To drop that take.
Yeah, to say that they all suck.
See, but is that kind of cheating a little bit? You waited until a bad review came out.
No. Listen, I am a seasoned hot take artist. I simply needed an ounce of validation for what I already thought.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
Which is that the Indiana Jones movies are not good. And if you like them, you're dumb. See, now that's an extra level that I didn't need to add. Apologize to everybody for if you're an Indiana Jones fan, because I know some people were a bit perturbed by that hot take. But yes, I opened it. I unleashed it. So now we simply wait for the official opening, which I believe we're still waiting for the official closing of last year from you. So we're going to need maybe back-to-backs.
So you want me to declare right now that 2022 hot take season is closed?
No. The only way you close hot take season
is with a hot take.
And then again, I can tweet as many hot take summer takes as I desire. It's not officially open again until you restart the rolling season, I guess is how I would phrase it. Because, boy, oh boy, these sure have been rolling. We are working on a goofy timeline. So just, again, if you're sitting here at any point during the podcast and you have one to, again,
dropping something,
first close down 2022. And then, again, if you come up with another one that you then need to...
It's asking quite a bit.
Listen, you have time. It's no rush. Just... consider it.
But we digress. You had started talking about the scourge that is capturing or encapsulating the whole planet once again. Honestly. I don't think either of those words are the ones that I wanted to say. No,
scourge was right on because that's what this is. And I'm to the point now where I don't want to bring the world back to the Jim Crow era.
Okay.
but I think we need to separate ourselves from sharks.
Okay.
Permanently.
So you're calling for sharkregation.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and if that puts me on some kind of FBI watch list, then so be it.
It seems like it's been ramped up a bit. Just a little bit.
Listen, but this is simply me putting a label on what I think, what I've been clamoring for years. And that is, we need to stay out of their homes.
Their territory.
This is ridiculous. Evolution is a thing. Mm-hmm. Apologies to anybody who believes the world started 2,000 years ago.
No, I think it's 6,000.
6,000. Yeah. Again, so dumb.
Right, dinosaur bones.
I'm so dumb.
Buried.
They were false flags.
By Satan.
It was the earliest false flag operation known to man.
Alex Jones still looking into it.
So, I've been clamoring for this for years, and now with evolution, when is the time where we start, someone finds a washed up shark or whatever, one of those big tuna boats, catches it in one of their nets, drags it on deck, and we see on the back, like two little feet, just tiny, so we know that the evolution is happening, that in a matter of time, these sharks are going to be able to come to our home. We are just days away from Governor Kathy Hochul.
Yeah.
Hochul? Mm-hmm. Big Kath, that's what they call her.
BK.
In the great state of New York, tweeting out, state agencies will be expanding shark monitoring off the shores of Long Island. I'm sure areas you've swam before, Steve.
Yep.
Our emergency staff will be taken to the skies and waters to make sure everyone stays safe at the beach.
Okay.
That's
a good take. That's a good, I think that's a good reaction.
This feels like, and I'm sure I can't pinpoint an actual disaster movie where this has happened, where the government or whoever has simply not told us because they don't want the panic, but they're just kind of letting us know, hey, you're going to see some extra patrol out there. What do they know? What does Big Kath know that the rest of those New Yorkers don't? That there's going to be helicopters while you're just trying to swim on Memorial Day. This comes.
I think you're onto something, man. I think there's something deeper here.
This comes mere days after a viral video was posted online of a kayaker.
I saw that
with a tiger shark. Now, tiger sharks are not one of these where they might look very big off this, you see videos and, that's just a tiger shark or a whale shark, whatever, a nurse shark. They're not going to attack you. No, tiger sharks hate you. Trust me when I tell you that, because they hate everybody and everything. Tiger sharks are known for killing and maiming. Okay? So this tiger shark comes out of nowhere to this buffoon in a kayak, which again, 80% of a kayak, Steve, is underwater. You're just begging to drown.
Yeah.
And takes a big chomp out of the kayak. This guy has to physically lean his left leg out and kick the shark in the head to get it away from him.
I slowed that video down. And I might be crazy, but I thought I saw some little feet on the back.
We've all known that this has been coming. I am simply begging the world, much unlike my dismissal of COVID-19, take these ones seriously. Please. 19 hours ago, another shark bite in the Florida Keys. Oof. 1 day ago, Miami-Dade County man hospitalized after shark attack while spearfishing. Gotta be honest with you. Think you were asking for it.
Yeah, you go out there with a spear, they're going to come back at you.
That is the threat to sharks, right?
Right.
Like, they see a man, and I think everybody knows sharks' eyesight is, top 5% of 5% of animal kingdom.
Of course. Well-known fact.
I'm assuming they have 2 eyes and they work.
Uh-huh.
They look up, just chomping on their seaweed, maybe a couple minnows.
Some kelp.
And they see some muffin top shirtless jerk with a shaved wooden stick coming right at him.
Uh-huh.
What are you going to do if you're that shark? I don't even blame the sharks. They just want us to stay where we're supposed to be. Mm-hmm. 2 men were attacked by sharks in the Florida Keys. 2 separate incidents. Most recent was Friday night. I'm talking this Friday night. 35-year-old man reported bitten in the foot. That's a warning shot. If you get a shark nice enough to just bite your foot.
Bite your tootsies.
Jump, jump, jump.
I hope he's laying on the beach, holding his leg, blood, just raining down his legs. It's wet, so the blood always looks like there's more blood. Yeah. Ambulance or EMTs come rushing out. What happened? He bit my tootsies.
Jump, 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 jump.
Just a day before, 20-year-old man bitten off the coast of Marathon, and he was deep sea spearfishing, which again, you're asking for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're going out there with an intent to kill. They're going to counter your intent to kill with their own intent to kill.
Yes. I'm just asking people, especially if you're near a coastal town or even thinking of entering the ocean, which again, it's just filled with predators and things that want to murder us. Just think again.
So will you never go in the ocean?
Not again. I don't think I could be talked into it now.
Okay. Not even just standing there as the waves crash up, you're ankle deep. I don't think you're going to find many sharks in water that shallow.
Here's my issue with the ocean as a whole. Okay. I took a trip with my in-laws to go visit my brother-in-law back in 2016 to Hawaii. Mm-hmm. Okay. And
the big island.
That's right. The big one in the sea is how they refer to it on the stamps. And they lived on the naval base, but it's Pearl Harbor, that whole area. I mean, obviously you're a stone's throw from an ocean wherever you are in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So we had walked down to an area, funny enough, called Shark's Cove. But this was a cove that was like 4 feet deep and was loaded with like an entire rock barrier.
Yeah.
Right? I felt okay. So I was dabbling in my feet and I thought, you know what? I'm going to take a little swim.
You're going
for a few feet. And got comfortable going underwater. And the fish, they don't care. They're right by you. Mm-hmm. I thought, hey, this is pretty neat. Maybe
you're facing your fears.
Maybe my opinion on this death trap is changing. And I came up at one point, and I don't know who I asked, one of the family members. I said, hey, one of those, there's like a bunch of balls down at the bottom.
Yeah. Like
circles that, they almost look like what you'd see in a video game.
Yeah.
With points all over the place. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, those are sea urchins, and if you step on them, like, they will stab you deeply. Right. So I spent the next 20 to 30, and I was maybe 20 feet into the water. Mm-hmm. I spent at least 15 minutes, Steve, tiptoeing with, like, my hands over my eyes so I could see underwater, everything, back to shore. That's it. I'm done. That's simply a place not meant for us. There's spike balls who are trying to stab you.
Yeah.
And they're just sitting on the ocean floor. Mm-hmm. Whew. If you had to pick one. Deep sea exploration. Mm-hmm. Right, like assuming you can just with a suit, you know, whatever. Deep sea, like dark, black ocean. Mm-hmm. Or space exploration.
Oh, I'm going to space.
You're going to choose space?
Absolutely.
I feel like we know enough about space.
No.
At least to where we can go in space. Like, we know enough about that. Like, where we go. Like, where you would go in space would be space station, even if it's the moon. We've been there.
That'd be pretty sweet to go to the moon.
But we know that probably not any gigantic spike ball monsters who are going to stab you in the foot.
Who am I to say that?
Right.
But
what I know for 100% fact is that deep ocean exploration, you might as well be stepping on the fin of a megalodon.
Oh.
Okay?
So the prehistoric massive sharks.
A lot of people would say it's prehistoric. I think they just went into hiding.
You think they're just down there just below the surface?
No, there's plates in the earth. There's, the shifting, and then there's stuff underneath that they can, they live in.
So the megalodons
Yes.
are living in underwater caves.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
You keep dismissing it. No, are you an ocean guy?
Ocean guy.
You grew up over there, but like if you and the family, you're taking a trip back to Jersey whenever this summer, would you make a day of it to go to the ocean and put your children in there?
Yeah. I mean, it sounds weird when you put it like that.
No, I'm just talking about,
like I'm just going to toss them in there.
Well, the equivalent of you, dipping your kids' legs in the blender. But sure, who am I to judge?
Yeah. Yeah. I do agree that it seems like the shark attacks have ramped up lately.
I appreciate everybody keeping me up to date because I can only consume so much of these vile animals trying to murder our kind.
Yeah.
Before I need someone else to keep me up to date. So I appreciate everybody keeping me in the loop when these videos of a tiger shark biting a kayak goes viral. So thank you. Thank you for that. It helps my anxiety to get that off of my chest, Steve, and just tell everybody, please, you don't want a headstone that can't even have a picture of your head. Okay? Because these warning shots are on your feet. When they mean business...
Hold on. So in your world, the headstone has a picture. They always have a picture of you, which, okay, I've seen them before. But why wouldn't it be able to have a picture of your head? Because it would be gone from a shark attack?
Thank you for saying it.
Couldn't they just take a picture of you pre-shark attack?
So Steve, so you want a picture of your Little League photo?
Well, what I'm saying
on your
is
headstone?
Typically the pictures on the headstone aren't from the point where the person is deceased.
I feel like we need also on these headstones mandatory if you pass away. I shouldn't even say pass away. If you were murdered by a shark, it needs to be on there, like because all of them will say, husband, father, son. No, mandatory top line. No matter what else you can fit in there, shark attack victim.
At least give me a QR code.
Right, so I can read the details.
So if, out of respect for the family, maybe put the QR code on the side or on the back or something. Yeah. That's fine. So I can just do it. Oh, okay.
I'll post that on the poll. Is a QR code on the headstone disrespectful? I don't think it is. I want to be able to pull up that article and see, little Timmy lost his head. That's why they only had to buy a 5-foot casket.
I mean... You're saving on material costs, right? Kyle, yesterday was a big day.
Thank you again. I'm sorry. Thank you. I'm posting those polls, so I got distracted, but thank you for letting me get that off my chest. Steve, I have been wondering, because I told you I kind of had something today, this morning.
Yeah.
And we had initially planned to record yesterday.
Yes.
So when you told me, you texted a while ago,
we had to pump the brakes on that. We probably could have made the record work early yesterday morning, but I don't know. It just seemed a little. It was a little chaotic yesterday, so we shifted. You were very gracious and said, "Yeah, no problem. Just got to be out by a certain time." I said, "Not a problem at all." Big day yesterday.
Can I guess?
Huge day, in fact.
I want to guess because I think I know what it is.
Okay.
And I believe I actually said the words out loud to someone yesterday. If I find out this is why we had to push recording, I'm going to be perturbed.
Can't imagine what you're thinking.
Steve, did you have to cancel the recording yesterday? Because of the Grand Haven Jeep Fest.
Goddamn right I did.
You son of a bitch. This effing thing...
What tipped you off?
This effing thing went from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Were you worried all the good Jeeps were going to be gone if you got there at noon?
This was actually my... Well, I had been thinking about going, and then my mother-in-law's here this weekend, so we got free babysitter, which is pretty great. So Annette was like, why don't we just go early?
So of all the world at your fingertips, babysitting on tap, a nice Saturday, no rain in the forecast.
We're going jeeping.
Go take a nice dinner.
We did dinner on Friday night. It's very nice, by the way.
Maybe go see a movie. I don't know, just whatever. Anything. You decide, I'm going to drag my wife to the Grand Haven Jeep Fest.
Yes, sir.
I have to tell you, I certainly am perturbed.
Wow, what tipped you off?
It was one of those. I didn't know you were going. I didn't even know this thing exists because why would anybody? Until it was one of those promoted events on social media.
Oh, so it popped up in your feed.
Yes, and I thought, oh boy, and that's when I saw it, and I turned to Katie and said that. If this is why Steve is canceling,
I have to know though. When you said that to Katie,
yeah,
was there even a glimmer of humor in your voice?
Nope.
Okay, so you were 100% annoyed.
Let me put this in a little context. Weeks ago, you and I had kind of occasionally we do a tiny bit of planning up to the degree of what day are we going to record?
It is so rare.
But
every now and then we get into a habit where we're like, we're going to at least know when we're going to record.
Yeah, which is important. Now, you're coming up. We need to talk again. You're taking a vacation here very soon. You're headed down to the mountain range.
The Sunshine State.
I'm assuming you're going to be showing up down there with some chaps, a cowboy hat, and just a rifle from the 1900s.
Yeah, well, I'm riding my horse there.
But weeks ago, when we had this planned out, I knew, hey, we're recording Saturday, so I can do this. And I thought, you know what? My lovely wife, who is a registered nurse and has just finished her school to become a nurse practitioner and get her master's degree.
Yep.
She is finishing up her clinical hours, which, as anybody in that area knows, is your free work.
It's basically the medical equivalent of
an internship,
an unpaid internship.
Yeah, you're doing work, legitimate medical work,
right,
for free.
So you're not just there observing.
Yeah,
you're doing the work.
Correct. She's in these.
Seems illegal, but okay.
So there's obviously the actual employee there.
These are just the people tasked with keeping you alive.
Right.
Why pay them? That would just be silly.
It is funny to me that now, as the world moves away from unpaid internships, right, that the medical profession is still like, no. You're not taking our free labor.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought, you know what? I would like to get her, and we had this discussion last year on this very podcast, kind of ad nauseum
I am thrilled
about a massage.
I am thrilled about this, because you ended up going last year too.
We
right?
did a couples one last year, and I did not. I did not mind it. Now, it did not provide me this overall sense of relief and happiness. I liked it.
Get out.
But this year I thought, you know what, for Mother's Day, I'm going to book her an appointment. Simply because if I just get a gift certificate to this place, and this is the place you recommended us 2 years ago, which is it's upscale. You
wonderful.
Get there, you put on their shoes, their bathrobe, they give you a drink. While you wait.
Did you go with champagne? Maybe a Bloody Mary?
Last year I asked them for a PBR. They laughed me out of the building. So I booked it for her.
Right. Just cracking it. Cheers in your buddy.
Yeah. Other couple down the hall. PBR. It's free.
I can hang out here all day.
Guy hiding his face because he's got a glass of, California red wine. So I thought I will book this for her. Otherwise, it'll kind of sit in our letter holder and she'll push it off and won't remember it, whatever. Yeah. So I thought I will do it for...
I like it.
Today, this Sunday.
Taking the initiative. Very
May
nice.
the 21st. So, because we were recording yesterday, Saturday, May the 20th. Mm-hmm. So this was booked.
Yeah.
And then when you texted,
and
I thought, oh man, I've got this thing booked for Katie. So I said, sure, we can do that. Mm-hmm. But, I'll have to adjust just life by a little bit.
Yes.
And that was all. So you and Annette could go look at a bunch of GJs out in the parking lot?
First of all, you big dummy. No offense. No such thing as a GJ. ZJ, yes. TJ, yes. CJ.
I was just reminded of the poll I meant to put up a few minutes ago, which is Steve a big dumb idiot? But I had to put the follow-up because I need to know who is right and in the wrong. Now, granted, this is obviously somewhat in jest. I am not super. Obviously, I'm not upset.
Also, if you look at it from the other perspective, this recording typically is going to happen because one of us has something to do on one day,
right?
And it has to be done another day,
right?
So all I'm saying is that going to Grand Haven Jeep Fest is right up there with getting a massage. That's open for debate.
Okay. You tell me if this is an okay way to phrase it on the poll. Okay. What is more important? Jeep Fest?
Yeah.
Wife's massage. Is there any other context you feel like I should add to this poll?
I think that's very fair.
Okay.
I think that's very fair.
I'm leaving names out of it because I feel like as soon as it's mentioned, now it's going to be very difficult to who was going to go to Jeep Fest.
Well, the only thing I'm thinking is that people without listening could think that it's both me.
Yes. So in hopefully the out of context interpretation of this is that Steve, you said, Annette, you got to cancel your massage. We're hitting the coast, and we're going to go to this parking lot to look at a boatload of Jeeps.
Yeah.
So I guess give me the rundown on this thing while I sit here arms crossed, perturbed. Now, was Annette begrudgingly okay when you said, hey, do you want to do this?
Again, Annette this was kind of her idea.
So she's just looking for any reason to get out of the house.
Because my birthday is coming up again. I'm finally out of my late 20s, into the early 30s, turning 42 next week. And she thought, that would be fun. She knows me well, knows that I was thinking about going to Grand Haven Jeep Fest. At no point did I ever consider she would want to go with me. But once we saw that the weather was going to be nice, she's like, why don't we just go? We'll go my mom will be here. She can watch the kids. We'll go in the morning. We can grab some lunch while we're out and then make our way back, which is exactly what we did. And it was a Jeep Fest. There were Jeeps as far as the eye can see. And I was reminded quickly of what I dislike about the Jeep community.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now I am curious. So you said community, so I think we can safely assume there wasn't anything about the actual Jeeps overall that upset you. So are you talking about the clientele?
No.
The actual Jeeps?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't care again.
No, I think...
Was it something like someone rolled up with a yellow MN and you're like, well, that's supposed to be green, you big dumb idiots?
No.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I know that you're going to be on board with this. Okay? There is a tradition in the Jeep community.
It's the wave, right?
No, not the wave. Not the wave. I mean, at that point, if you're at a Jeep
Fest, how are you going to do that?
just waving at everybody. There's a tradition. There are a couple traditions in the Jeep community, which I despise. One of them is called ducking. Have you ever heard of ducking?
I have not. Could you give me a rundown on ducking?
Say you're an avid Jeeper. And you're going to the grocery store.
Which is you, by the way, avid Jeeper up until like January or whenever you had sold the murder Jeep.
Yeah. So say you're an avid Jeeper and you're just going to the grocery store to pick up some milk and bread. You pull into the parking lot and say you see another Jeep that catches your eye.
Okay.
And you think, wow, that's a nice Jeep. Naturally, you're going to go into your trunk, pull out a little miniature rubber ducky, and put it on that Jeep, correct? Okay. Yeah.
Boy, oh boy.
That's ducking.
So you kind of expect...
That's the acknowledgement between Jeepers that, hey, I like your Jeep. You put a little rubber ducky on it. So when you go to a Jeep show where it's all Jeeps, guess what there's also a lot of? Rubber duckies. Every vehicle has like 40 of them up on the dashboard. And, oh, maybe there's one on the tire. Oh, look at that one on the front bumper. That's cute. There's one on the door handle. Oh, that ducky is sitting in the driver's seat. He's like a driving ducky.
Oh.
It's so cringeworthy.
I feel like it is reminiscent, and this doesn't bother me because I feel like this is a more personal thing that people actually do when they drive the Volkswagen Beetles, and they'll have
the little flower,
the flowers,
yeah,
right. But they're not carrying around a trunk load of potted plants,
putting them on other people's cars.
Yes, because if I came out to my car and there's like a ceramic pot with dirt overflowing sitting on my hood, and now I'm responsible for the life of this flower,
right.
I'm aggravated.
I'm gonna be pissed. Yeah, so ducking is one thing that I don't get. I don't want to get it. It's annoying. It makes you seem like a child. The second thing that I dislike about the Jeep community is the tendency to name your Jeep and then to put stickers on the hood that say what your Jeep's name is. Like, I'm driving Trucky McTrucker. This is Jeepy McJeepson. This is Captain Stomper. He drives over mud puddles and through whatever. Ugh. I hate it. I despise it. You're an adult.
Yeah. So there's a difference, right? And
my first car had a nickname.
Sure.
We called it Kit.
Based on
Knight Rider. Knight Rider.
Right.
Because when you got in the car.
How do you know Knight Rider and Kit? Yet I'm sitting here and you don't recall a single thing about Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I was more of a TV guy, not so much
right.
a movie guy.
Yeah, I never went to the movie. I saw, obviously when I saw Indiana Jones, it was on videotape. But
like, ask me anything about Alf. No problem.
Underrated.
Exactly.
Like, people forget the two of the shows that define, and I apologize for this digression.
That's okay.
I don't know if you recall the television show, and you may have been a touch too old for it, Dinosaurs.
Oh, I remember. I did not like dinosaurs.
Little full animatronic dinos worked.
No, they weren't animatronic, were they? They were people in costumes.
You're probably right. Right. But not CG. They weren't animated.
Right.
Is my point. Yeah. But the way Elf ended and the way Dinosaurs ended for children's shows are among the most traumatizing things of all time.
I don't remember how Dinosaurs ended.
Dinosaurs ended with
an asteroid?
The comets or asteroids hitting, and all the dinosaurs dying. And Elf obviously ended with Elf giving himself up to the government after he's trying to escape.
Yeah. Very E.T.-like.
Unbelievable.
But
we digress.
Yeah. So yeah, my first car had a nickname. We called it Kit because it had a digital dashboard. Mm-hmm. So in 1998, that was basically about as futuristic as it could be. And I remember my friend Doug hopping in the car the first time. He's like, "Whoa, this thing's like Knight Rider." So we referred to it as Kit. But even then, I think referring to something as a name and adorning the entire vehicle with stickers that say what your Jeep's name is, two different things.
I have one of those that lives 8 to 10 houses away from me. Mm-hmm. That is adorned with bright blue stickers.
A Jeep?
A Jeep. It's got like different colors around its headlights. It is very, very in love with a Disney movie. I don't want to say too much in case people have seen it around, and I don't. But
right,
I will try.
Let me send you a text because I believe
you've probably seen it around. I pulled up the Instagram account for it a while ago.
Right, of course, because the Jeep has an Instagram account.
Of course, why wouldn't it? So I don't know. I think the only exception as an adult, Steve, at your age and your state in life, if you were to name your Jeep,
texted you if you can just confirm or deny
the state of your life, the only way that you could name your Jeep, which again is the Comanche. Do people name Comanche? Whatever. Would be if Evelyn named it.
Yeah, I think you, as an adult, you can get away with a lot of things,
right?
Because my kid wanted to do it,
right? Well, yeah. I mean, and honestly, if for whatever reason Evelyn decided to start calling it Betty Lou, It doesn't matter. Like, at that point, it's not you saying, let's go take a trip over, down to downtown in Betty Lou. Mm-hmm. No, that is Evelyn, for whatever reason, saying that. That is okay.
Yeah.
That's the one, Steve. You've seen it?
I've seen it many times.
I will try to get the Instagram handle so you can look at it.
Sure, it wouldn't be hard to figure out.
Be embarrassed.
Yeah.
Lives right by me.
Yeah, and see, that's the kind of person. Obnoxious. That's the kind of person that refers to their vehicle as like a gender. Like, oh well, she got washed today, and
you're giving me.
It's weird, right?
Yes,
it's really weird.
It is.
Let it be known, I am not in that. Okay. Like, our Venn diagrams do not overlap at all.
You're a normal Jeepsman in absentia.
I'm a Jeepsman.
No. Okay. Jeepsman is minimum 2 Jeeps. Okay?
Oh, that's right, it was. All
so
right.
you lost the murder Jeep.
Give me a week.
Much like...
Give me a week. I'll go buy one.
Much like Beetlejuice, that family...
Yeah, I never saw that either.
...has to stay in the car. The ghost can't stay in your house with you. So those... again, the new family who owns that murder Jeep is now the caretakers of those souls.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't looking for it yesterday as we were walking through the rows and rows of Jeeps.
You think someone would bring... Which was you didn't have anything special done with yours?
Never has that been made more apparent by the Jeep Fest yesterday when every single one was a 4-door lifted Jeep with bigger tires. And I was just walking through there thinking, man, if I had actually registered and parked the Comanche as part of the show, it would have stood out like a sore thumb because there were no other Comanches there. It was all 4-door Wranglers.
So did you drive the Comanche down?
We did.
So you were out of place even at Grand Haven Jeep Fest.
That was, to date, the longest trek that the Comanche's been on.
Wow. And it made it...
No issues.
Again, I took a tool around the neighborhood and reeked of gas for 12 hours.
You know something? Annette was in it yesterday, and she had only been in it like one other time, and it was when we just putted around the neighborhood. And she was like, wow, it doesn't smell like gas anymore.
So it just, poof, the gas smell just kind of dissipated?
I mean, there's been some work done. Some sensors being replaced and certain other things happening that have made it so it runs a little bit cleaner these days. But yeah, that was the longest trek thus far for the Comanche.
So tell me all about the rest of this, outside of your frustration with the names, the ducking, etc.
Ducking is the worst.
Did you have like a notepad that you were like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Like, I would like to do that to my Comanche.
No. I mean, it was I don't want to take a dump on the event because it was a very well-run event. Everyone seemed to be enjoying it. I was just a little disappointed at the lack of variety, but that is not on that's not the fault of organizers of the event at all because they just want people to show up.
Yeah. Come to this parking lot and park.
It was actually a whole probably 3 city blocks.
Wow.
Yeah. So started at one end, walked all the way down, turned around, walked all the way back, popped in, got some lunch somewhere, and then hit the road. And that was it. We were on our way home from Jeep Fest.
So nothing
crazy,
but nothing like. Nothing got to you at Jeep Fest where you're like, I've got to get back in the game. I miss that. Or I want that.
No, because I think I'm, my toes are just enough in the water. My tootsies are just enough in the Jeep waters.
Which are, again, fresh water.
Right. It's a swimming pool. But there is one point yesterday where I actually heard the voice of Kyle in my head saying, do it. You got to do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Because it had to do with gambling.
Really? Yeah. Yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
So a Saturday while you're at Jeep Fest?
At Jeep Fest.
Okay.
So about halfway through again, it was like 3 city blocks that are blocked off. Well, right in the middle of one of the intersections, there's a brand new Jeep parked.
Okay.
big sign, win this Jeep. And I was like, oh, okay. Because I had read about it on their Facebook post. They, I guess, had paired up with a local dealership. They were going to give away brand new Jeep. You had to buy a raffle ticket.
Yep.
Raffle ticket was $103.
My goodness.
So not a cheap ticket by any means.
And I'm assuming it's a limited number.
I don't know exactly how it worked out, but I know that it was all tied in with there was a benefit where they were going to be building a new playground at one of the local elementary schools because it had fallen into disrepair or something like that. So I was like, all right, I'm on board with this. This is cool. Even if I don't win, the school's still getting $100 for their playground.
I mean, that's not I don't know what we decided on whenever that poll was posted about needing, where you kind of feel like you need the approval of your significant other to spend a certain dollar amount.
Yeah.
For my money, I feel like a $100 raffle ticket is in that category.
Yeah.
Where that has to be a joint decision.
Yep.
Hey, I'm essentially pissing this money away.
Throwing this money out.
Just so you know. But, there's a kid who's going to get half a textbook.
Yeah. So, surprisingly, Annette was like, go ahead, just do it. What the heck? What's the worst that could happen? Well, the worst that could happen is we win nothing.
And you lose $100.
Yeah. I mean, best case scenario, cool, we're driving 2 vehicles home.
Yeah, right. And then in the back of my mind anyway, I'm already, oh boy, how do I pay the taxes on this?
Right.
Because it's thousands of dollars in taxes.
Yeah. I would have sold it. I did not buy the ticket.
You didn't buy it
at
all?
No. It'd be one thing if it was $20. You know how there's like that, what's your threshold for money you're willing to just light on fire?
Right.
For me, I think it's
$20.
Because if it was $20, yeah, of course, here.
Maybe I'll get 2.
But if it was $40,
yeah,
I don't think I'm doing it.
I think you're right. I think 20 for that instance, essentially a raffle, a lottery.
Right.
Right? It's the same as the 50-50 tickets at all the sporting events you go to. I've never once bought one. But that's a dollar amount I would waste money.
That's a little bit easier, though, because those are, $2, $4, $5, whatever.
So at that point, it's much easier to be like, I'll buy 10. Why not?
Yeah.
But, $100 for the chance to win a Jeep, you're going to have to pay. I think you made the right call.
Yeah, because that Jeep was probably worth, I don't know, $30,000 or whatever. So then I got to pay tax on that $30,000. That's not cheap. Granted, I would have sold the Jeep.
Right. But you're still going to be on the hook for whatever type of fees to get ownership of that Jeep, right? So you're ending, granted, we're not talking about if the profit's worth it. Obviously, if you win a Jeep in a raffle and sell it, you're going to be making profit. Mm-hmm. But the hassle for that dollar amount.
Yeah.
Yesterday, and Annette, obviously she gave you the go-ahead on 100. Mm-hmm. Let's say you walk up and that raffle says $50. And she's telling you, let's do it. Why not? It's a day out. We don't got the kids.
$50 I'm in.
You would have done it yesterday for $50. You would have done the raffle.
Yeah.
Sucker.
Let's see. I'm looking up right now to see if anybody won.
Yeah, did they announce it with all the local yokels on the old Facebook event page?
Boy, they haven't posted in 2 days or so.
So it must not have gone well, huh?
Must have been a scam.
Yeah, right. What if you find out now? Let me ask you before, and we have to get to viewer mail time here before we head out of here. Let me ask you now, though, how you emotionally interpret that $100. Because there's a couple ways. Here's what normal people would do. Hey, save myself $100. Good deal. Mm-hmm. Right? Back of my mind, though, Steve, here's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
I don't know. She just kind of gave me the go-ahead on this $100. I kind of have $100 in the bank now.
Right.
So now if I want someone gets $100
tomorrow,
you say, hey, I'm going to go buy it. It's like $100. She goes, do we really need it? You say, well, we were just about to use it on a raffle ticket.
We made $100 yesterday, remember?
And this is actually useful. Mm-hmm. This is more than one of those, red tickets, right?
Yeah.
Which camp are you falling in? Are you just like, hey, we saved $100, or are you pocketing it?
A little closer to your side than.
Oh, I didn't say my side. I would never. Right. I am camping.
Oh, of course.
I'm wiping my hands of it, saying, "Can't believe I almost wasted my money."
Uh-huh. What would you have done if you had come over here this morning and there was a brand new Jeep parked in the driveway, still with like Jeep Fest stickers all over the side of it?
I would have dreaded the next 12 months where you inevitably, for some reason, tear it apart, rebuild it so you could install like one different headlight, and then sell it for like $80 less than what it's worth.
But you got to tell me though, you have to admit that if you found out that I won that on $103, I think it was $103, that would have been pretty impressive, right?
Well, that would have been the deal of the century.
It depends on when the centuries start. Are we doing rolling? We're doing rolling centuries.
Steve, this podcast, you can safely assume, is exclusively rolling centuries.
You know, I wish I had done it, but I'm also happy I didn't. You know, I like riding the Lightning every now and then. But...
Right. But $100 ride the Lightning. I'll post it on the poll. Is $100 too expensive to ride the Lightning?
Yeah.
Because I think you're right. I would not have done that. You got further than I would have even gotten, and I like gambling.
Yeah.
You got much further in that negotiation phase than I would have. Yeah. I would have looked at it, said, "Oh yeah, if it's a $10 raffle, sure."
Yeah, and you'll laugh at me, but I think that most of the reason that I didn't do it is because it was a base model Jeep. It wasn't even like if it was a Rubicon model.
Yeah.
Absolutely. $100, I'm in. Because that right there ups the value of the vehicle by like
$10,000, something like that.
Probably $20,000.
Ooh, my goodness.
Yeah. Man. Depending on the different options available.
I do feel like though, and obviously this is all speculative, that if you had won this Jeep though, you would you have directly sold it, or would you have wanted to tinker, upgrade, change things? Like, these tires, I can't sell it with these tires on these wheels.
It basically had like minivan wheels and tires.
Yeah, so you need to then, go take pictures of every other Jeep that's there, which is lifted with bigger tires, and say, "Hey, where'd you get those?
Yeah.
I need to put them on my this minivan I just won." Well, I'm happy for you. I am happy that you were able...
I made $100 yesterday.
That's right. You're in the green. That you were able to enjoy a nice day in the parking lot. Or, sorry, city blocks.
Couple city blocks.
With your wife looking at the Jeeps. Mm-hmm. Does she feign interest? Is she actually interested? Can you discern the difference?
She's interested at certain points.
Sure, like to a degree, right?
When we see something that's a little bit different or a little bit unique, she'll be like, "Oh, that one's cool. What's that?"
Yeah.
And, poke her head in, look in the window, and be like, "All right. Ready to go."
Cool. Yeah. It's not a direct analogy, but it's like me when I've gone to Universal Studios before. Mm-hmm. And I don't like roller coasters that much. I appreciate the ambiance. I like being there. Mm-hmm. But going in there last year with a friend who has been reading Harry Potter to his kids... Mm-hmm. And me, I've never read a page of Harry Potter. I've never seen 1 second of any of the Harry Potter movies. Nothing against them. It was just, it missed me entirely. And I thought, well, it's too late now. I've never once indulged.
Yeah.
But seeing the wonder in a grown man's eyes, in these recreated town streets.
Yeah.
And villages, whatever, with a, large dragon on a rooftop. Like, oh, okay. Yeah, neat.
Cool.
Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a net now in this situation. A net at Jeep Fest is me at the theme park.
Yeah. So, you guys in next year?
No.
I almost texted you yesterday morning and just said, "Coming to pick you up. Don't ask questions."
I would have locked my doors, shut the garage, shut the blinds, like put whatever type of security on that I could find to avoid that from ever coming to fruition.
Well, I mean, we didn't find out until after we got home, but simultaneously going on in Grand Haven while Jeep Fest was going on. Grand Haven, by the way, a beautiful little town on the lake shore here in West Michigan.
If you're ever coming to West Michigan, make sure to make time to go visit our local diamond on the beach, Grand Haven.
Simultaneously going on with Grand Haven Jeep Fest was Grand Haven Kite Fest.
Wow.
There were kitists.
So that town was filled with children and people who like kites yesterday.
Beautiful day for it. It was very, very breezy out. I'm sure that they had a grand old time at Kite Fest.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure. I mean, I can't.
You into kites?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't have anything against kites.
Maybe next year we carpool. We'll drop you off at Kite Fest.
Okay, so you skip. Okay, so you drop. So you're zipping past the state park.
Yeah.
Letting us out for the 90 seconds. It's cool to watch a kite in the air. So you're just going to do a hit around the parking lot?
Yeah, because you'll obviously be in the bed of the Comanche with Katie.
Yeah.
You guys hop out.
Yes.
Check out the kites. We'll go check out the Jeeps. We'll reconvene 10 minutes later and get some lunch.
All set. Perfect. Yeah, whatever weekend that is next year, keep me up to date. But Steve, like I said, before we get out of here.
Oh, we got a lot to... Yeah, we got a little pile of stuff over there.
Yeah, and we're not going to have time to get to this box, which isn't
I'm going to open it real quick and plug it in just so I can
we have to mention it.
See the wonder.
While you get the music ready, important to... Before we get out of here and I forget, presumably, barring massive issues for us next week, special episode.
Yeah. Well, I mean, especially now that the old Manche's back on the road again.
Very exciting. Again, I really think the police are going to look at this as a threat.
Look, I mean, hold on. I'm gonna do a little technical wizardry over here for a second. If you could continue.
Yeah, of course. Next week, the current plan is to record.
That's right, Kyle. It is.
Hey, that sounds pretty good. That sounds a lot better than I thought.
It's a lot more sensitive than I thought. We picked up.
This is great.
That's probably not good right there, is it?
That's really hot. We picked up a couple of
lavalier microphones. That actually sounds okay there.
It does. Yeah. It does. Maybe it's the headphones, but maybe the equipment. But yeah, those microphones are working a lot better than I anticipated. Next week, Steve and I's plan...
Let me just clip this to my shirt.
Yeah, how it's going to sound, actually. Is to record the podcast. I wish I could say we could figure it out live and stream it to YouTube, but I feel like there's too many cooks.
Do I have to talk like this?
You should.
Or can I talk like...
No, definitely the whole time. Keep your chin on shirt. That's the rule. COS.
I think I might just hold the microphone like this. Or maybe I'll just get a little stick and clip it in there.
We've got a few days. We could probably find some lavalier holders so that you're not looking like that. I'm just going to go shirt. I'm going to clip mine right on the shirt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The plan is for Steve and Kyle, the Steve and Kyle podcast, to record Parade Cast 2023, which is what the idea last year, Steve, that spurned our original intention of being in the holiday parade last winter.
Right.
But the original intent we were talking about at this very parade last year, Memorial Day parade, was we need to record live from this parade next year.
We're doing it.
And this was while we saw an insurrectionist walk past chucking lollipops.
And getting a pretty big standing ovation from a lot of people.
Wish I was surprised in this area.
Well, do you think... did we talk about this? Will he be in the parade again this year?
Well, he's not an elected official, and he's facing federal charges for his role in the January 6th riot. I think it's likely we see him there again, yeah. So, Steve, you and I are going to set up a table or something somewhere and observe the parade.
We're just sitting on the tailgate.
We're going to observe the parade and record our thoughts on the parade as it passes. So,
it's just going to be me, you, 2 lavalier microphones,
that's right,
2 sets of headphones, and a mixer.
And
I mean, wait, do we take call-ins?
Oh no, I think we're going to observe all the floats going by, and we just have a normal of an episode, just with observations on all of the floats going by, almost like when you see it on public access television. But we're not going to talk about here's so and so, and there's
the Rotary Club. They raised $200 this year.
Here's the Scout Troop 813. They sold a lot of cookies.
So if you're in the area next Monday, right? It's on
next
Memorial
Monday,
Day.
It's on Memorial Day morning.
So the 29th.
Yes.
May 29th.
Yes.
Join us, won't you?
Yeah, come by. If you're going to be at that parade, come take a look for us. We're going to be.
We'll bring an extra mic. We'll put you on the air.
Yeah,
on the record.
No problem doing a live 2 minutes of awkward conversation. If you're there, please form the line accordingly.
Yeah,
for all of the fans that are going to be there. Details on our location are TBD.
Look for the red front half, black back half Comanche.
Yeah, if we know in advance, like a couple days in advance, where we're planning on parking the Manchi, we will make a post if you're going to be there. Mm-hmm. Obviously, for 99.5% of people listening to this, it does not matter. But please, if you're going to be there, come over and say hello.
If you're traveling into town just for this event, that's a bad decision.
Hey folks, viewer mail time again. Oh, here's one from Sally, age 14. Dear Pig.
Whew. Seamless every time I hear it.
The production on that gets better. Every time I hear it.
Glad that you went down into the lab, put that one together.
This is from our friend Trevor in Dixon, Tennessee.
Worth noting that
not Nashville.
Worth noting that our friends at the Bill Payment Processing Center. What the hell? I think you just ripped whatever's inside. You definitely did, right?
That was among my least acceptable letter opening efforts.
I think you need to take a picture of that and post it. Just hashtag carnage.
I mean, this thing is an abomination. What I just did to it is offensive. Mm. And I feel like I owe an apology. Not to Trevor. No. That's too much.
But as I was saying, our friends at the Bill Payment Processing Center, I think they were running a bit behind. We ended up getting 2 checks from our buddy Billy Stacks.
Wow. Thank you, Billy.
But I didn't want the checks to sit here for 3 weeks since the last time we recorded.
It definitely does have a little rip on the top, Steve.
Does it?
I'm assuming it's still legal tender. From our friend Trevor in Dixon.
/ Burns.
Definitely not Nashville. A biggie this week.
Yeah? What we got?
I think we're in the black, Steve, for the year 2023.
Look at that.
$20.23. Let's not deposit that immediately until we negotiate how we're going to plan this newfound profit for our podcast.
Sure. Last week we talked about how obviously it was mid-May, so the number 3 time of the year.
Yes, obviously behind the day after Christmas, followed by Black Friday, Cinco de Mayo weekend, typically early May. The third best time of the year to plan and get going on your local Christmas display. Steve, you took the advice, and we will have to talk more at length about this, not next week because we're going to be a bit busy, in coming weeks, about what you received here, because that box looks like one I sent you from Amazon.
It sure does. And
that looks like, to me, from a distance, about 60 feet of LED outdoor waterproof rope lights.
You know what my favorite thing about this is? Not a name brand to be seen anywhere on this box.
And I'm sure if you opened that mini manual or pamphlet, there's going to be a lot of broken English, some misspelled words. That's how those usually go. Now, this is one that you bought. Maybe you can clarify. Was this the one you bought that claims it can do multiple colors?
Oh, I think there's an app. Yeah, there is. There's definitely an app.
So let me ask you, as it stands today, you've received these. You try them out, whatever. Let's say it all goes according to whatever you like.
Remote control and everything. I stand outside and just aim it at my house.
Is the current Steve plan to install year-round lighting at the abode?
It's going to depend on how discreetly I can.
Those look... Now, I was expecting my familiarity with LED rope lighting is kind of that...
Oh, the tube.
Plastic or rubber tubing. This is not that.
No,
this is
not that at
flat
all.
strip.
Yeah, I ain't no chump.
This is with the world's largest plug.
It is. It is quite big.
This is 60 feet, and it looks to be flat with the... Whatever you refer to them, are those nodes that emit the light there, Steve?
Sure. Wait a minute. Let's attach this.
Now this looks... I got to tell you, I'm liking this more. I think you're going to turn these on. I think you're going to love it.
Hold on.
I think you're going to love it. You going to plug them in?
There's no possible way that I can
I
sit
only
here.
wish we had that holiday jingle that we've been playing right now just to put me in the seasonal spirit.
Oh, is it Christmas rap?
Is that what it is? We need to again, we have this board that can play sounds and we just don't touch it. We need Christmas rap. Yes!
Is that volume good?
That's perfect. Well, Steve, you plug those in. Our thanks to Trevor again for the monthly payment he has to pay for listening to this very podcast.
Hey!
Oh, my goodness. Those are brighter than I anticipated. Grab that remote if you need...
All right. So right now we got like kind of like a light blue.
Yeah, that actually might be what they consider bright white.
Bright white, yeah. It's.
You need batteries in that, or does it come with it?
Oh, it's got the...
Oh, there it is. Okay, so you got the tab pulled out. Okay, so what's that?
Hey, look at this.
Now, do they have like color changing? Can you do like a...
You big dummy. Of course they do.
Look at that. Okay. I can't wait because I think Annette's going to love this.
She's going to hate it. She's absolutely going to hate this. There's no chance. There's no world where Annette likes this.
I think it's going to look tremendous on the house.
Oh, hold on. It's got a music note on it. What does that mean?
Yeah, so I think that's how you... I'm sure it's in that pamphlet, but you can sync it to music.
Oh, I thought maybe it...
You think it played music? We can sync that to music. So this upcoming year, when people drive around the Zach, they are going... Oh, this is awesome. It's bouncing to my words right now. Changing colors.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, this is awesome. This is awesome.
All right, well, we need to put
Buy
these
all of
around
them.
the studio.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, we won't be irritated by those for at least 2 minutes. We need to hook this
This
up
is amazing.
to Christmas wrap on a loop this holiday season so people who drive around the Zach can see it. I can't believe how cheap these were, and it does this. I'm already impressed with its features.
This might be...
Don't do it. Don't do it. Do it.
This might be the deal of the century.
Hey! This is okay. Great purchase. You know what?
You doing it?
I'm kind of thinking of buying these now.
All right, we got to see if we can get like a bulk rate on them.
Should we wrap these around the Manchi for the parade next Monday?
That's a great idea.
And then we can...
I mean, it'll be in the daytime, so...
Yeah, but, you know, look at that. You can see that in the daytime.
Hold on, I'm going to go to music note number 2.
And then those can bop to... Oh, my God. That
Oh,
feels
I like that.
You like that? That feels really aggressive.
That's like seizure-inducing.
Yes, it
right
is.
there.
That is epileptic. This is... I think the lights bouncing to our every word.
Right.
I think we have a 1 hour lifespan on that, which is about the length of the parade.
There we go. We're back to fade.
I am happy. I'm happy for your purchase. I'm happy for the upgrades to this house. And I think here's how I want you to introduce it to Annette is just show her, hey, it's these new lights. And then when she shows disinterest, you hit that music note button and say, hey, Annette, tell me what you think about them again. And then watch her reaction when this happens.
What do you think about these lights? I mean, how much did I spend on these? $30?
Was it $30? Something like that? A bargain.
Absolute bargain. I might put these up today.
Well, nothing says Memorial Day. Like again, and you need
I could just do red, white, and blue, right?
Yes, and again,
sure
you need to get it. You need to get these up, so we can hook it up to Lee Greenwood by the 4th of July.
All right, so this is just blinking. That's kind of annoying. Let's go to... It seems like the same. Okay, well, I guess... Oh, there we go.
A delight.
I like that.
If you are looking for new lights, you DM us. We'll give you the link because this is our new hidden... I don't want to give this out to just anybody.
No. You got to be in the inside club.
That's right.
Else you're not getting any info.
So stay tuned for that. Hopefully, recorded live from the parade next week.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. At Stephen Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Especially if you're going to be at the parade next year. I don't even think we mentioned the town that it's in. It's the Jenison...
That's right, yeah, we did.
Hudsonville...
Georgetown
Township Memorial Day Parade. It goes down Baldwin in Jenison.
Yeah, I can't even tell you time. 9 a.m.? Boy.
3 p.m.?
Light on details. Swing on by.
We'll post it. Maybe we'll make a Facebook event for it. So follow us at Steve and Kyle on Facebook. We'll also share it Twitter and Instagram.
Yes.
So we will talk to you next week live from the parade. Can't wait.
See ya.